Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. You want to change the way a man looks at you. You want to make that brother smile even when he's waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Then stop saying good morning like everybody else in the world. There ain't nothing special about good morning. The bus driver says it. The shopkeeper says it. Even your alarm clock could say it if you said it right. Words are not just sounds we make. They are emotional energy that has the power to build or break the connection between two people. When a woman speaks to a man, especially a man she deeply cares about, her words can either feel like cold routine or warm affection. A simple phrase can turn an ordinary moment into something meaningful and unforgettable. Men are not always skilled at expressing what they feel, but they feel deeply. Their hearts respond more to the tone, the intention, and the emotional value behind the words than the words themselves. That is why what you say to him, especially in those small, everyday moments like the morning greeting, carries more weight than you think. When you wake up and say, good morning, it gets the job done. It acknowledges the time of the day. But it doesn't acknowledge him. It doesn't celebrate who he is or what he means to you. It doesn't make his heart skip. It doesn't wake up the part of him that desires connection. Men crave acknowledgement just as much as women crave attention. They want to know they are appreciated, admired, and seen, especially by the woman they love. The right words from the right woman can heal a tired heart, ignite confidence, and inspire him to rise stronger. Think about it. He goes out into the world to face stress, challenges, responsibilities, and pressure. Most men silently carry their battles. They rarely complain. They rarely admit when they're tired. But deep inside, they want someone to notice their effort. When you speak to him with emotional intention, you're not just starting his day, you're strengthening his spirit. When you replace good morning with something personal, unique, and affectionate like good morning, my handsome king, or I'm blessed to wake up and know you're part of my life, you give him fuel. You remind him he matters. Words can create emotional habits. When a man is used to hearing appreciation from you daily, you become his source of peace. You become the voice he looks forward to. You become the comfort that calms him before the world tries to shake him again. The impact is deeper than you might ever see on the surface. He may only smile, nod, or reply with a short message, but inside, he feels valued. Inside, he feels chosen. Inside, he feels loved. When a woman uses her words thoughtfully, she becomes unforgettable. Men remember how you made them feel long after the moment passes. They remember the encouragement, the sweetness, the admiration. Your words become the reason he checks his phone faster in the morning. They become the reason he misses you more. They become the reason he loves harder. Words are emotional energy, and when you send the right energy, you touch not just his mind, but his heart every single day. Replacing a routine greeting with appreciation and admiration is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways a woman can deepen emotional connection with a man. Good morning is polite, it's friendly, it's common, but it doesn't stir the heart. Men, just like women, want to feel wanted. They want to feel like the person they care about sees something special in them. When a woman puts a little extra intention into her words, she makes a man feel like he is more than a random presence in her life. She makes him feel significant. Significance is what strengthens love. It's what keeps him thinking about you even when you're not around. Imagine waking up to a message that doesn't just mark the start of the day, but reminds you why life feels sweeter. A message that says, "Good morning, handsome, go win your day," instantly shifts the mood of a man. He wakes up with confidence. He feels supported. He feels admired. Those feelings become attached to you. You become the reason he starts his day with motivation in his chest. That's powerful because men are naturally driven by purpose. And when a woman becomes a part of his purpose, he holds onto her with his whole heart. Admiration from a woman is like emotional oxygen for a man. When you compliment not just his looks, but his effort, his strength, his presence, you awaken the masculine energy inside him. Tell a man, "I love how you never give up," or "You make life feel safer," and watch how he steps up even more. Men become better men when they feel respected and valued. Your words tell him that everything he is, the protector, the provider, the man is seen and cherished. That's a feeling he won't gamble with or take lightly. The truth is, most men don't receive admiration anywhere else. The world tells them to toughen up, keep going, and act strong even when they're tired. Rarely does anyone stop to say, "I appreciate you." So when the woman he loves says it, it cuts through every wall he has ever built. It makes him soften. It makes him open up. It makes him trust. And trust is the foundation of real love. So instead of starting the morning with a phrase that could come from anyone, give him something only you can give: emotional warmth. You don't have to write poetry. You don't have to try too hard. Just be genuine. Simple words like, "It's a better morning because you're in it," can melt the strongest man. The intention is what matters, letting him know he's not just alive, but that his presence in your world means something. Remember, admiration is a love language, and when you speak it consistently, a man will hold on to you like the best blessing he has ever received. Replace the ordinary with the extraordinary, and he'll love you deeper every morning for it. Men fall in love through respect and validation in a way many people underestimate. A man can be surrounded by people, admired for his achievements, and still feel unseen if the woman he loves does not make him feel valued. Respect is not about saying yes to everything or treating him like he's flawless. Respect is about recognizing his effort, appreciating his intentions, and showing that you believe in who he is and who he is trying to become. When a woman gives a man that emotional validation, she touches the deepest part of his heart, the part he doesn't openly reveal. Men crave the feeling of being enough. They want to know they are strong enough, smart enough, capable enough, and lovable enough to protect and provide for the one they love. When a woman speaks words that affirm him, not just compliment his looks, but acknowledge his role, she becomes the source of a powerful emotional connection. A simple phrase like, "I'm proud of you," or "I believe in you" can push a man further than his own self-motivation. It strengthens him, it grounds him, it inspires him, and he will never forget the woman who made him feel that way. This is why the morning greeting matters so much. When you speak life into a man at the start of his day, you become the first positive energy he absorbs. You become his encouragement before the world tries to tear him down. Men often walk into a day full of challenges, expectations, and silent battles no one else can see. But if he starts that day knowing the woman he cares for believes in him, he walks stronger, he stands taller, he carries confidence like armor. Ladies, hear this truth. A man can love a woman deeply, but he only gives his heart fully when he feels respected by her. Respect isn't loud. It doesn't need big speeches or dramatic moments. It shows up in the small ways, the way you speak to him, the trust you show in him, the appreciation you give him, the belief you hold in his dreams. When a man feels respected, his love becomes fearless. He becomes more protective, more loyal, and more emotionally open. He wants to do better not because he's forced, but because you inspire him. Validation is not manipulation. It's not pretending he's perfect. It's acknowledging his effort, even when results haven't fully shown up yet. Tell him you see how hard he tries. Tell him his presence makes you feel safe. Tell him he has qualities that no other man can match. These words are not small, they are strength, and every man needs strength to face life. When you validate a man emotionally, he bonds with you in a way that goes beyond romance. He begins to trust you with his soul. He sees you as home, not just a partner. And when you are his home, he will love you with a depth you never have to question. Specific compliments strike the heart in a way general words never can. When you tell a man something anyone could say, it lands lightly. But when you speak something that shows you truly notice him, it goes deep, it stays with him. Men pay attention to details too, especially when those details make them feel special in your eyes. A simple good morning doesn't activate that emotional connection. But when you say, "Good morning, I love how determined you are," or "Good morning, I can't stop thinking about your smile," you are aiming directly for his heart, not just his ears. Specific compliments show that you truly see him, the real him. You notice his effort, his strengths, his struggles, his habits. It tells him that he is not invisible in your world. A man will remember a compliment from the woman he loves for years, sometimes for a lifetime, because that compliment becomes proof of his worth through the lens of someone who matters most to him. When you highlight something unique, personal, or intimate about him, you give him a reason to feel proud of himself and grateful for you. Compliments don't always have to be about his physical appearance or achievements. The most powerful ones often acknowledge his character, his kindness, his loyalty, his intelligence, his ambition, his courage. Words like, "I love the way you handle tough situations," or "You make me feel safe without even trying," awaken the protector and provider inside him. When you admire the man he is becoming, you show him that he is not just enough, he is exceptional. Specific compliments also create emotional memories. If you tell him you love how he laughs, Every time he laughs afterward, he will think of you. If you admire the way he cares for his family, every moment he spends with them, he will feel your appreciation in the back of his mind. Your words become attached to his actions, making you a constant part of his emotional world, even when you're not physically there. Men act confident, but many of them are quietly insecure about whether they are doing enough or being enough. Your words can silence those doubts. They can remind him that he is valued not by everyone else, but by the one woman who truly counts. And that reminder stays with him all day long when he checks his phone in the middle of work and sees a message like, "I love your passion." When you talk about your dreams, it brings him back to why he wants to succeed for you, for both of you. Specific admiration becomes his secret motivation. It becomes the reason he tries harder, the reason he protects you more fiercely, the reason he stays loyal with his heart, not just his presence. Be the woman who speaks to what makes him different. Be the woman whose words he carries like a treasure. Because when you compliment a man for the things that make him who he is, he will love you for seeing what no one else ever did. Emotional support is the fastest and most direct path to a man's heart. Many people think men are simple or that all they want is physical attention or admiration. But the truth is, even the strongest, toughest men are carrying silent battles inside them. They just don't show it the same way women do. Men are taught to hold it together, stay strong, and act like nothing ever bothers them. So when a woman becomes that one person he feels safe to open up with, she becomes irreplaceable in his life. When you support a man emotionally, you give him something rare, a place to rest. The world expects him to perform, provide, protect, and solve problems constantly, but he also has stress, fear, and insecurity. He might not say the words, "I'm hurting," but there will be days where he needs someone to see through his silence. When you offer him understanding instead of judgment, comfort instead of criticism, patience instead of pressure, you become the peace he never wants to lose. The morning is a powerful moment in this. A few encouraging words from you can set the tone for his entire day. Imagine he wakes up already thinking about the challenges ahead, work stress, responsibilities, expectations. And then he sees a message from you that says, "You've got this, I believe in you," or "I know today might be tough, but you're tougher." Suddenly the weight he carries feels lighter. Your words become strength in his veins. Men fall in love with the woman who stands beside them when they feel weak, not just the woman who celebrates their victories. A man's heart opens when he realizes he doesn't have to pretend around you, that he can show you both the hero and the human in him, and you will still choose him. Support doesn't have to be big emotional speeches. Sometimes it's just listening. Sometimes it's asking, "Are you okay?" Sometimes it's saying, "I'm here for you." These small actions become the foundation of trust between you. When you are emotionally supportive, you become the person he wants to share his dreams with, his fears, his frustrations, his hopes. You become his partner in every sense of the word. He starts to think about the future with you because he knows that with you, life feels more manageable. You give him courage not through force, but through love. A supported man is a loving man. A supported man is a loyal man. A supported man will protect the woman who gives him that emotional shelter with everything he has. Because in his heart, he knows that kind of love doesn't come twice. So when you wake up and choose to be the voice that lifts him, the presence that comforts him, and the heart that believes in him, you become the reason he holds on and the love he never wants to let go. Consistency in affection builds trust and desire in a way that nothing else can. It's easy to say something sweet once in a while or show love only when everything is going right, but that doesn't create a deep emotional bond. What really captures a man's heart and keeps it loyal is the steady, unwavering way you love him every single day. Men notice consistency more than dramatic gestures. A man may act tough and independent, but inside he desires something stable, something he can rely on, something that makes him feel secure. When a woman consistently reminds him that she cares, that she values him, that she believes in him, she becomes part of his identity rather than just an experience. A man builds trust slowly. He watches how long the affection lasts. He pays attention to whether your sweet words and emotional support come only when the mood is good, or whether they stay present even when life gets busy or stressful. Consistency tells him that your feelings aren't temporary. Consistency tells him that what you say matches what you feel. And when a man finally trusts that your love is real, consistent, and true, he gives you levels of loyalty and commitment deeper than most people could imagine. Consistency also creates emotional comfort. When a man wakes up knowing he will receive love from you, not randomly, not occasionally, but daily, he begins to crave that connection. He begins to associate his happiness, his energy, and his strength with you. You become his morning motivation, his night peace, and everything in between. When you replace the ordinary good morning with heartfelt, loving words every day, you are showing him that his presence in your life matters today, tomorrow, and every day after that. Men fall for women who make them feel emotionally safe. Consistency is that emotional safety. It tells him he doesn't have to question your intentions or fear that you'll disappear. It helps him open up layer by layer without hesitation. Over time, consistency turns affection into attachment and attachment into devotion. A man will protect the woman who stays consistent with her love because he sees her as an essential part of his life, not just a chapter,